Today is April the 5th, and I live in Central Washington. We've lived here a couple of years at this place. We've got kind of the back half of our backyard, and we have done, this is the second year that we've done Back to Eden gardening concept, sort of with just the covering and having the mulch. And so the first, what this looked like was just completely weeds and just a mess back here. Basically, we had a couple of fruit trees that weren't bearing at all. Well, the apples were, but the peach tree had one peach on it the first year that we were here. And then last year it had like hundreds. And it may have had something to do with the weather also, but I think it definitely had to do with just giving it water and putting mulch around it. We've got a third of an acre total, and then this is probably, I don't know, maybe 25% of our property, or a little bit less. So we had a lot of vegetables last year. Our garden did fairly well. Um, uh, we had tons and tons and tons of tomatoes. And what I did was, my neighbor has offered to let me use her greenhouse, which is over there through the trees. Um, and so I started stuff in the greenhouse, the tomatoes, and then what happened is I started them in really little containers, and then I had three plants, and so I couldn't bear to throw them away, and then ended up separating them into more and more cups, and ended up with 92 tomato plants. So excuse me. We had tons and tons of tomatoes, all different kinds, and I ended up just making lots of marinara sauce and putting it in the freezer. So I just wanted to give you a kind of a baseline here before we start our garden. I haven't really gotten anything in the ground. It has been in early spring, but I'm kind of afraid about the freezing still, and I'm going to put in the colder stuff like the lettuces and spinach and all that, onion bulbs, very, very soon. And time has to do with it too, whenever you have time to do stuff. So anyway, I'm going to walk to the greenhouse and show what I've got started in there. So here's the greenhouse, and this is what I've planted so far. Um, the neighbor has these nice mats here that keep it a certain temperature, and so I usually keep it around 70 degrees. And at night, I have this for part of it. It's kind of a reflective stuff that you can put in your attic. So I put that over part of the plants because that's all we had, and then I'll cover it also with a blanket, and then the other plants are covered with plastic, and then a blanket at night. And I usually get out here a few times to water. They need to be watered now, but I put signs in everything. But this will give you a kind of a baseline. But this is sorrel seeds. They haven't come up yet, but my grandma uses these for soups, or she did. She's very elderly now, but they are so good. They kind of have a tart flavor, and it works well with like a pork roast and potatoes, and then you throw in those sorrel leaves, and it's really good. Um, so these are cucumbers and more cucumbers. Green. This is green peppers. Green peppers in all of these, I believe. Then there is, these are all herbs or something like that. There's some are savory thyme, basil. This is a different kind of basil. This is the red basil, and then green onions and cilantro. These are looking dry. You don't really want them to dry out like this, so I need to water them definitely. Here we have Brussels sprouts and some more Brussels sprouts, and then this is bok choy. I think it's similar to bok choy probably, but it looks a little bit different. I think you can look it up online. But what I did was I ordered, and I'll show you this, but I ordered a box from Amazon. of the heirloom seeds that have like thousands and thousands of seeds. But I knew I wouldn't use them all, but it comes out to be a better deal for organic and heirloom seeds when you do it by the kit like that. So these are all peppers. We've got some California Wonder, banana pepper, Cubanelle. I'm not sure even what that is. I think they're spicy peppers. Here's tomatoes. These are all different kinds of tomatoes. Ace 85, Rutgers, and beefsteak. Those are coming up nicely. And I'm so excited to show you in a few weeks because they really grow quick. I'm going to try to do a video every week, and we'll see how it goes because I've got a big family and lots to do, but it'd be fun for me to do it. My boys said they would help me put these on YouTube, so and more, these are peppers. They're just coming up. We've got some more tomatoes and honeydew, more tomatoes, but not nearly as many as last year, actually. Then there's some golden zucchini and straight neck squash, and then the butternut squash. Oh, those are coming up. That's really good. That is amazing. That was just, I mean, you couldn't even barely see it this morning, and that's been one day of growth. You can hardly see it coming out of the dirt this morning. So, okay, I'm going to water these, and then I'll show you well, I'll show you a few more things. So before we moved here, this had been empty for some time, and this apple tree, my husband has pruned it quite a bit last year and the year before. The apples aren't super great. We might try to replace it by planting another one and then eventually cutting it down, but it's just blooming right now. We have a couple lilac bushes here, and then there's quite a bit of space. This is really the prime area that we plant in here. That area over there closer to the trailer is not so great. The soil isn't as good. So what we did is just brought in, we called a tree company, and they were happy to oblige. And we put probably, probably 8 inches of mulch in the garden. Very, very deep. Last year it was kind of a challenge because I actually had to rake some away from you can kind of see the rows that I had. I planted it this way, and we kind of had to pull away the mulch and then plant it into the dirt the first year because it just wasn't broken down enough. And so this year, I am hoping that we can plant directly into the mulch, that it's broken down enough that, that it will be good for planting. We've had, I did plant asparagus, and it came up last year. They were bare roots, but I have not seen any. It was right against the fence here. I've not seen any this year. So I also have some onions that are growing from last year. I guess I put in bulbs, and I guess they didn't all come up last year, so we have some coming up this year. So anyway, I have tons of stuff to direct sow, and then I have the stuff from the greenhouse, so we're hoping to have a really big garden this year. So before I go, I'm going to show you the box kit that I got from Amazon, and then we'll come back next week. And this is the seeds that I bought. This doesn't have all of them in here, but there's like 4 or 5 packs of seeds, and they're all individually in these little tiny bags. It tells you the germination rate and what's in there, and it's really neat. There's a lot of choices. You have to look at what kind of is good for growing in your area. So I will leave it there, and we'll come back next week.